Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to be talking about The Flash Season 4, Episode 2, Mixed Signals. Man, this was a really entertaining episode. Let's get right into this. First, let's start off with this metahuman this week. I thought the villain of the metahuman of the week was all right. He had an interesting power. Obviously, whatever mechanical device he could touch, he could turn it against people. That was fine. It did occur to me during the episode, though, because Supergirl had a villain that could just stare at people, and it looked like whenever people just stare at people, they could just easily do something this week. Like, the metahumans this week had some of the easiest jobs in the world. One just has to touch, one just has to look, and then the job is done for them. So metahumans are having it good this week. Second of all, Barry and Iris going to couples counseling. That was really enjoyable this week. I like that we saw them going to the counselor, and she was like telling Barry, you look at Iris, no, you look at Barry. I'm gonna admit, it had me laughing a little bit. Iris did say something that was bugging her that I didn't feel was resolved, or at least I didn't notice it being resolved. They kind of just, after that scene, they kind of just went back to their usual ways, and I'm like, was there a scene missing in this episode? Because I felt like there was something missing. They did, sort of find their connection later on, I guess, when they were fighting the metahuman. When Barry was having trouble and the bomb was about to go off, Iris is like, Barry, listen to me, you have to trust me. And I guess that's when they kind of rekindled. But it didn't really... I'm surprised they, skipped the talk and just went straight to that, and then, okay, everything's good now. I thought there would have been more to it than that, but I guess I'm glad they didn't delve too much into the typical, hey, let's have a talk about this now, because they kind of did. And I guess they fixed it with a situation that had them in it. So, I don't know. For me, personally, I thought the way it was resolved kind of was forgotten about, but I don't know. You guys can tell me what you thought about that. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe I'm going to stand my ground and think I'm right. I don't know. Another thing I really enjoyed in this episode was Gypsy and Cisco. I really loved this connection between them. That was something I really liked last season, was Gypsy and her relationship with Cisco. And I think both of them, both actors, really do have really nice chemistry together, and it shows on screen whenever you see them here together. She had her own little holiday, kind of like Valentine's Day, I guess, on her Earth. And it's called 111 Day, which I thought was, come on guys, that's kind of lazy. Coming up with something. No, just call it Valentine's Day. It's on a different month on her Earth, I guess. I don't know. But I thought, yeah, all of that was really enjoyable. This whole episode was really enjoyable. I don't think there was one thing I hated about this episode. Maybe the metahuman was the weakest link. I don't know. There was that scene with Joe, and the robot came in to drop the grenade, and he contacts Barry quickly. There was a small little explosion, and Barry was picking up the pieces of the grenade. But what about the explosion itself? What happened to the explosion? Did Barry whoosh it away? That, I don't know. Maybe that was missing, and that kind of had me thinking. It was just small little things like that maybe bothered me. But I guess the whole episode was just so enjoyable. It had had a smile on my face the entire time, that I can kind of forgive it for the little things like that. Caitlin had some really funny moments too. I don't really have anything negative to say about this episode. This was almost a perfect episode. you can't really hate on it. We even got a little bit of the Thinker at the end, and it looks like he's giving these people their powers. Because the source, the Barry and Joe asked this metahuman, did the particle accelerator from Wells a couple years back give you these powers? And he was like, nope. And we find out that, it looks like the Thinker is the one giving these people his powers. And it looks like there's some other people that he's looking for as well. And I'm guessing we're going to see a couple of these metahumans throughout the season that are going to eventually come together by the end of it. So, I don't know, is he creating his own Legion of Doom or something? I don't know, but it's looking interesting so far. I am curious about what the motive is behind this villain, what his plan is. The Thinker, what is he thinking of? I need to know what the Thinker is thinking of, because right now I don't know what his ultimate goal is, and that's always the interesting thing. If they can pull off an interesting goal for this villain, that was something that made Harrison Wells in the first season, or Barthon in the first season, such an interesting character, because you can see, like, okay, this guy's evil, but what is his goal? What is he trying to accomplish in this season? And I think that's what made Eobard Thawne a great villain in the first season. Same thing with Zoom, and Savitar was kind of iffy, because I'm still not quite sure what his goal was, to destroy himself. But yeah, so far so good. 2 episodes in. I also really liked the Oliver newspaper cameo when Barry and Iris were in counseling, and Barry looks at the newspaper, and the newspaper says Oliver Queen is Green Arrow. So it looks like that's all out. We're going to discover that tomorrow not tomorrow, on Thursday on Arrow. We're going to learn more about that. So I'm looking forward to that episode as well. So yeah, guys, with that being said, this was another really good episode so far a really good season, it looks like. 2 episodes in, I'm really happy with what I'm getting. I think I did enjoy this episode a little bit more than last week, only because last week I was hoping they were going to extend the whole Barry is gone stuff for at least like 3 or 4 episodes. But they didn't, so I'm over that now. And so episode 2, I've accepted that Barry's back. And if he's going to be back, this is a good way to bring him back for a second episode. So I'm really happy with this. Comment below, guys. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Is there anything I should have talked about that I'm probably forgetting about? I don't know. Like, subscribe, and until next week, take care.